please, if you'll check this will be important.
I had to stand.
Whenever I have this quirky type smile, you know that I'm up to something. And what I'm up to right now is, I can't wait to see how this type of information that Susan and I are going to present over the next 4 weeks, how it's going to build upon everything you've learned in the beginning classes, and how it's going to improve the quality of your life. So over the next 4 weeks, we're going to do several things. One is, we're going to use mechanical vibration, like these vibrators right here, to modulate and change the flow of energy through a person's body. Now next week we're going to do the same thing, but we're also going to be using our hands to move the energy through a person's body so we can help them feel better, maybe help eliminate acute problems, and even help chronic illnesses. Okay? Then the third and fourth week, we're going to go up into space. We're going to build upon the information that we're doing now. We're going to go up into space, and I'm hoping that if we can get rid of the brain and heart from interfering, that all of you can have a very personal relationship to whatever you call God. That's going to be the third and fourth weeks. Okay? So that's where we're going. Now, to get there, we have a lot of information we have to cover. So I'm going to ask you, please be here at 7:30. Okay? If you're not here at 7:30 and you haven't called ahead, what do? Go home. Thank you. Go home. If you even suspect the week before that you're going to be late, call us. Let us know. But please don't come through the door. Why? Why? Respect. You're right. It interrupts the energy, but it's respect. We must have respect for ourselves, for others, and for the information. And more importantly, that you respect yourself. This information is most important. Fair? Thank you. Okay, now let's review some of the work that we talked about in the beginning class. We said that the brain, heart, and our spirit interacts with the environment, both internal and external environments, right? That this somehow senses the internal and external environment, correct? Right? That's one of the things we said in the beginning classes. We said that when brain, heart, and spirit are working, there's a large amount of energy that starts up here at the top and goes straight on through, should go through evenly in both legs, should go right through into the earth, should come back in a circle, and keep going through time after time after time. Remember we said that. And we also said that if we're thinking properly, then those thoughts will help that happen. And if we're not thinking properly, something's going to happen in the body where the energy stops. It may stop here, it could stop lower or higher, but the energy does not flow through the body, right? And what we said was that occurs, the stopping of the energy occurs if brain and or heart is in conflict with spirit. Right? Because brain gives a logic to whatever we're thinking about doing. Heart buys into it with emotions, and then spirit, which is the final judge, is going to say, wait a minute, brain and heart may or may not be correct. So unless all three are working properly and in agreement, that energy will stop. Right? Okay? Now, think of what we did last time in beginning class. We used our thoughts to change the strength of that energy going through the body. Remember that? Right? Then we also chose different chemical products, different supplements, doing the same thing. Correct? Remember that? Okay. Well, we're going to go further this time. We're going to go further. We're going to start playing with mechanical vibrations. And we're going to make it very simple, because I want to get you to this very fast. So what we're going to do is, because we have more of this type of vibrator, probably most of you are going to be using this one. This is a simple on-off one. It has 2 speeds, high and low. So you'll be putting your feet on it, and then we'll go through the rest of the experiment. Now, I'm not going to be using this one tonight for myself when I work with you. I'm going to go to the more advanced one. The more advanced one, this one is easy. The more advanced one has a control to it with many more variations in speed. It's not just high and low. Okay? We're going to play with this tonight, and then I'll let you go and you can play with some of the others. So what we're going to do, would you mind, can I have that chair, please, that they can share? Thank you very much. All right, here's what we are going to do. Okay? We'll have pairs of people, just like we did before, and you may have to work in groups because of the number of vibrators. And if you want to take off your shoes, be my guest, okay? So, I'm going to do a little experiment, and you can guide me and you can tell me. Now, first of all, we're going to start just thinking of our names. So, I'm thinking of my name right now. Now look at me and sense where the energy is flowing through my body. Now I'll stand so it may be easy. Okay, so I'm thinking of my name, like I'm using my full name. So as I'm doing this, okay, you tell me, is the energy going through my body? Like through my body from the top all the way down to the floor? Is it? Yes or no?
Yes.
Thank you. It is. Okay, is it weaker or stronger on one side? Well, is it weaker on one side?
No.
Okay, well, it is. It is right. Weaker on the left?
Right.
Well, everyone's right somewhere. Everyone's right somewhere. So you tell me again, okay? See, the energy is flowing through completely. It is. Good job. Very good job. And I've got to tell you, you guys did a great job the last time. In the beginning class, you did wonderful. So we're starting off with an A. Okay? So go to an A+ tonight. All right? But tell me, the energy is flowing through. Is it stronger? Is it stronger? Let me keep it positive. In one side or the other side? You tell me. I'm thinking of my name. Tell me. What side is the stronger? Right or left side?
Right.
Thank you. Right side. Right side is stronger. Left side is not nearly as strong. Okay? So right now, for whatever reasons, I'm thinking my name and the energy is not going evenly through my body. But it's okay. It's okay at least to start. But you can sense that, right? Yes? Okay. I hope you're saying no, because tonight you'll be able to go through more practice to be able to do this. Okay, that's why I'm doing this. I want to give you a lot of practice to do this. Okay. So we have at least a measurement. We have at least a measurement right now of what's going on in a person's body. So you'll do that with your partner. Now remember, you can muscle test. If you are having trouble sensing it, muscle test them. You can muscle test them here. Are they strong? Here, are they strong? Here, are they strong? Here, are they strong? Are they strong here? Are they strong there? Go down a little further. Find out where they're weak. If you're not sure, muscle test. Okay, do you remember how to muscle test? Okay, all right. So if we're muscle testing, what you would do is, okay, they're thinking of their full name, all right, and you use use a strong arm, ask for permission if you can test them, and then just touch different parts or go close to their body and just test and find the area where they're weak. So you have an idea of how the energy is moving through their body. That's all we're doing tonight. Okay, so just think about that. How the energy is moving through. Does that make sense then? Sharon? Makes sense? Okay. If you have questions, ask. So, we have an idea of how the energy is moving through. So now I'm going to turn this one on. I'll turn this one on. And you tell me. I'm just going to turn it on to the slowest speed. What happens? I'm still thinking of my name. What happens to the energy through my body? Has it changed? Yes or no? Has it changed? Yes. Yes, it has. Very good. Yes, it has. What do you think has happened?
It's more balanced.
Okay. It could be more balanced, but what do you think is happening right now? It's less balanced. Okay, there's more energy going through this side than this side now, because I haven't found the optimal frequency. Now, you could turn this on for someone, and depending on the person, depending on what's happening in their body, the moment you turn that on, you can get maximum energy going to a person's body. It could happen. The chance of that happening is pretty slim. And conversely, if you think if you turn it up all the way, if that's going to do it, guess what? Ain't going to do it. It might. There might be someone in here where that'll happen. I haven't found it that way. So I'm asking you, when you get good, start playing with this so you can test yourself. So here's what we're going to do. Okay? We're going to test this. And you can tell that it's not the right frequency. It wants to jump away from it. All right, so. There. Okay, now you tell me what's happened. It's beautiful. I mean, the energy is moving through like crazy right now. It's smooth. It's very smooth. I mean, it is a complete difference of what was happening just a few moments ago. Now, because the energy is moving through so much more smoothly now, should I be weaker or stronger than when I started?
Stronger.
Stronger. Right. I should be stronger. And you will, like if you use those vibrators right there, the other ones where it's high or low, you can muscle test them at the high and the low setting, but I hope you'll kind of decide for yourself before you do anything if it's better or weaker at one of the two settings. Then muscle test them. I want you to sense in your body, from their body, what's happening. Now, it's a method to the madness, so I'm asking you to do this. Why do you think I want you to start sensing another person's energy? Why?
That's how we connect with your soul.
That's right. That's right. That's how we connect. And if you can do that for someone else, it's a lot easier to do it for yourself. A lot easier. Now, I got to tell you, whether I'm sitting here and you're on the other side of the world, and I tell you I've turned this on, or you're sitting right here, you should be able to tell me the same things that you see right now. You understand? Now, do you remember? Now, let me change this so you get an understanding about this. I'm going to go up faster now, so let's go up faster. I've got it full bore. What's happening now? Yeah, it's very uneven. Very uneven now. A lot of energy flowing through this side, even less flowing through this side. So what do you think would happen if I muscle test? Weaker. It'd be weaker. Making sense? Now, whether you're talking about mechanical vibrations, or a person, place, or thing, or even your own thoughts, it's all the same thing. It's vibration, it's energy. There are energies that will help us. There are energies that are not good for us. And just because something will work for someone else doesn't mean it's going to work for you. So, can we have, Lori, can I have you come up, please? Thank you for volunteering again. So don't sit up in the front if you don't want to volunteer.
Okay. Okay. No, I'm not.
Okay. All right, so shall we do a test?
Okay.
All right, so I give you permission to test me.
Okay.
Remember?
Okay.
Ask for permission. So thank you for asking.
Yes.
All right. Now this is a good strong arm.
Okay.
Okay. So what I'm going to do first is let's stop this. Let's stop this. Now whether I'm doing this vibrator or that vibrator will start the same way. They're always off. Okay. They're always off. Okay. Then go to a good strong arm.
Okay.
She's going to, yes. Okay, she's going to muscle test me. Okay, now I'm thinking of my full name, and what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take my fist, I'm going to move it straight down my body, and, excuse me, wait for just one. Okay, if I come to this area where the ribs come up to this hollow area right there, I'm going to put the center of my fist right there, and this is going to test the energy that's moving through my body. Right here. Okay? So I'll have one arm out, one arm right here, so it's just testing that energy flowing through. And I'm thinking of my full name. So would you please? Okay? All right? So give me just a moment. Okay? If you would, please.
Okay.
And you would say that's strong.
Strong.
Okay? Now, what else would you do next? Okay? Okay. All right. Okay. Now do that again, please.
Okay.
Now I'm trying to resist her. Excuse me for one moment. I'm trying to resist her. I can't. She's breaking my energetic field. And remember, if someone breaks your energetic field, whether they're standing in front of you like this, or it's something that's not good for you, that's breaking up your field, every part of your body, every system of your body should go weak, because this energy is flowing not just through my body, but around my body. So anything that's going to interfere with the flow of that energy will make all of my other body systems, including my musculoskeletal system, weak. Correct? Remember, we did this before in the beginning class. Now remember, there are some people here that have gone through so much stress over the last weeks or so that when you do that test and she touches or someone touches the spot, they could still be very strong. Remember, that happened. So what do you do then? What do you do then?
You first try to get the energy.
Thank you.
flow.
Okay.
You try up first,
Up
and
and
then
down.
down.
Okay, so
On the back,
what we would do,
right?
Usually that's kind of-
yes, as a test. Now, if I tested her here and that arm was still just as strong as it was without the finger there, then I would, can I have you rotate so the back's facing in? But then you can go down like this, you don't have to touch them, say 10 or 15 times, and then retest and see if it's weaker or stronger. If it's weaker, then keep going down and maybe another 10 or 15 times. If it's stronger, go in the opposite direction. And that'll reverse the person so we can continue on with the experiment. Remember that? Okay? Yeah. Okay, so good? Good. Nice to see the things I'm doing are working. Okay, so this is good, and it's good to see the things you're doing are working. So, all right, now, we know that I'm strong with my full name. All right, so I'm going to just turn it on, just like you would turn on one of these machines. Okay? Now, just turn it on, and you can have the person sense what's happened to your partner's energy. You can have them sense it. Now, if your brain and heart gets in the way, and you're not sensing it all the way through your body, if you're not sensing their body with all of your body, guess what's going to happen? It ain't going to work. They're not going to be right. Because you either use your brain or your heart, and just one or two of them is going to be wrong. You've got to get all three of these connected to sense what's going on inside of me or your partner. She has to do that. Okay? So what are you sensing now?
That it's stronger on the right side, especially right here.
And she's right. She's exactly correct. She's exactly correct. Now, how did you know that? That's okay. That's okay. That's all right. Because if she did a lot of thinking about this, she'd be wrong. Now, the hard part about this is, if you start putting a lot of your logic into this, guess what's going to happen? You guys will go home. And if you're going to put a lot of your emotion into this, guess what's going to happen? Go home. It ain't going to work. You have to sense it. You have to learn to turn your entire body system into a sensory object. It's an antenna. My body sit just for a moment. Thank you. See, wants to do this test. Can't wait for you to get started. Okay, remember what we said? We said this time after time after time. This is an antenna. It's not just a spine, this is an antenna. This is an antenna to sense everything inside you, outside you. It's an antenna to bring information from everywhere in the universe into the brain, into the heart, into the spirit, to test it, to make sure that the energy we're bringing in, according to the thoughts that are being evoked by this, that it matches who and what we are. Now, since I'm an antenna system, I'm sending it out to everyone in this room, everyone in the world. In fact, I could go to India right now, and you could stop someone on the street and say, "What's Gary doing?" They tell you, I'm holding this up. Okay? So Lori is picking this up. She may not know how she's doing it, but she's sending, my antenna is sending it to her antenna, because that's the second law of antenna theory, just like gravity. It's a law of physics. Now, one antenna sends information to another, and she's sending information from herself to me, as well as all of you to me, as well as myself to all of you. You see how valuable this can be? And that's what's happening. You look puzzled. You look puzzled.
No, I'm good.
Good?
Yeah.
Sure. Michelle, would you mind standing so that people can hear?
You asked her to sense where she felt the energy.
Right.
If her mind, body, and spirit were not in alignment, she wouldn't have been able to do that, or she would have said what she thought, but it probably wouldn't have been accurate.
That's correct. Absolutely.
Okay. How does she know if she's in alignment
Well,
to begin with?
we can muscle test.
Someone else could muscle test her and see if she was in alignment.
Oh,
Or
if
she could muscle test herself.
well, if she makes a prediction and she says, I sense this about her partner, then she can muscle test that area and see if she's right. And if she's right, then she's in alignment with her partner.
Is there something,
I don't
I think she means,
understand.
is there a way to test yourself to know if you're in alignment before you do all that? I mean,
Well, there is possibly a way of doing that, but I'm just not sure how to do it, except to say this. If you're thinking of your full name, then every part of your body should be in agreement. Now, if you've changed your name, then test your changed name. Okay? And the way we're going to test agreement is, okay, you think of your full name, and you hold out the arm. You should be strong if all parts of brain, heart, and spirit are aligned. So you can do it for yourself before you even test your partner. Someone can test you. Okay, then you can test your partner. Okay? Do you understand what I mean?
so if you're strong on your name, you know how he does that? He says, think of your name,
Right,
and then you should be in alignment to
Right.
test.
And then the real kicker is, if someone touches here, you should go weak.
Right.
If you're not weak when that happens, you're not in alignment. It could be physical, like too much stress, or it could be that there is conflict that's going on.
But if I'm by myself and I'm looking for answers and I'm working with this process, then I hope I'm in alignment. Otherwise,
Okay.
I'm not going to get the right answer.
All right, then here's what I would tell you, because I go through this myself. If you're tired, if you're weak, if you feel like I don't want to do it, don't even waste your time. It's that simple. Don't even waste your time. And if you're going to push it, and if you're going to force it, then do whatever you think you need to do, and you'll be wrong enough times that you'll learn. And I wish there were better ways of telling you this, but I'm just going by my own experience, because I'm pretty stubborn at times. And I have to be taught lessons myself. Am I clear? That's the best way I can answer that question. And so that implies that you practice, and you practice, and you practice, so that you understand what's right for you. That's the issue. What's right for you. Am I clear? Okay. And Ruth, would you
Yeah,
mind
I
standing,
was
please?
trying to get an answer from a couple.
Would you mind standing so
Yeah.
people can hear?
Earlier this afternoon, I was trying to get an answer to something, to two things. And I knew I wouldn't get to that level. So I was just trying to lean forward, lean back. I couldn't even get a yes or a no. Well, I could kind of get a yes, but I couldn't even get a no. So, yeah, I gave up on it and just said, well, give me guidance, do whatever I
Flip the
should.
coin, right?
Well, no, I just asked for guidance and I just said, well, that's not working.
Okay.
But, so was that the right decision, just to give up on it? I
Exactly.
mean, that's exactly what you're saying, is
Exactly
don't
right.
even try.
Don't even try. Don't waste
You
your
got
time.
too much interference going on.
Too much
Get there
interference.
some other way.
Waste of time.
Yeah.
Absolute
Okay.
waste of time. If you're confident that you can do this, that's the time to strike. You don't strike when you're tired, you're sick, you're confused. You don't waste your time. Don't do it. It ain't gonna work. You'll be wrong. You'll be reversed. So a yes will be a no, a no could be a yes. See it?
I've been using.
Would you mind standing?
This week, I've been using a lot of the breathing
Good.
that she had done. And when you do that for 30 minutes, you're in a much better place.
Thank you. That's right. That's right. And you're right. It could be breathing. It could be drinking more water. It could be sleeping longer. It could be taking supplements. It could be calling someone. It could be any number of things. But when it changes, it is profound. And you know what it's like when you're having a bad day, and you know what it's like when you're having a good day, and it's just that simple. It is just that simple. And you'll have to learn by practicing what's right for you. After 22 years of doing this, I have an idea of what's right for me. Okay? But I'm going to tell you, I run into the same things you're going to run into. I just could create more problems. Okay? That's why I have to take time. Wait,
But you
Cheryl, would you mind
can
standing?
work on
Would you
yourself.
mind standing, please?
But if you're sick and you're not feeling well, and you're
Right.
there by yourself, you can work on yourself successfully, can't you?
Yes, and since you're asking that question, how would you think you would do it? Because that's a good question. How would you do it for yourself?
Well, you have to get yourself in the mind frame and the breathing and
That's right.
calm yourself down.
Yeah. And it could be just giving myself permission to have a day where I don't have to do anything. You're okay with that? Because I know that's not easy for a lot of us, right?
Just try to get rid of excess energy
That's
before
right.
you start.
Exactly right. Or decide to go out dancing that night or something like this. So whatever you need, you'll experiment with it, and over a period of years, you'll figure out what you need. But please don't waste your time. If you're not feeling well, don't do it. I'm just telling you, don't do it. All right? Am I clear? Good.
Yeah.
Good. And you did well by waiting and not jumping into something. So let's go back. Roy, would you mind? Okay, so we're going to start again. We'll start again at the low level. All right. Now, you were exactly correct when you said the energy increased on this side. Now, if she's not sure, if you're not sure about what you're sensing, it's okay. Lori, would you mind, please? Okay, I'm thinking of my full name. Now, let's just say she's not sure what to tell her partner. She's not picking up information for whatever reason, and she's not sure. It's okay. It's all right. We have to start somewhere. So if you're not sure, okay, remember we have our hand here, okay, just where the ribs are separating, right there, okay, palm of the hand center there. I'm thinking of my full name now. If you'll use the other hand to touch me here, and then go down. Okay, so muscle test me. Okay, strong. Now go right there. Okay, strong. Okay, now remember, you don't have to touch it. Very good, very good. Keep going down. Okay, going down. Okay, now if you'll touch right there, good. Okay, now go to the opposite side. Yeah, I can't even hold up my hand. I can't even hold it up. No matter how hard I try. Try it again, please. Just do it again. The difference between the two sides. Okay, and no, I can't hold it up. Now, you don't have to go all the way down, but if you're not sure what's happening, then just test a few areas and just see for yourself, and then stand back and see if you can sense it. Once you've delineated it with a muscle test, you've got to start somewhere. Okay? This is the beginning of trust. Now, let me change this, and let's go back to the sweet spot, the point of resonance here. Now, how do I know? Because all I have to do is adjust this, and then that energy goes through my body right there. Beautiful. Now here's the analogy I use at this point. Think of the mechanical vibrator as a spigot. These vibrators are just like a spigot. And what you're doing is, with a spigot, you're just turning it on, and the more that you turn it on, relatively speaking, the more water flows through. You're doing exactly the same thing with your own body. The vibrator acts like a spigot, except it's one point. In the rotation of that handle for the spigot, at one point, we have maximum water running through. To open it up any further doesn't buy you anything. Either less water will come out, or there's not going to be any more change of the water. There's a sweet spot. And that resonance is in everything in life. Everything. When you find that same energy with a person, place, or thing, never let it go. Never let it go. And if you don't have it, find it. It's worth it. Okay? Seriously. It makes a big difference. Lori, would you please test me now? Okay, I'm thinking of my full name. Yeah, I'm using even less effort now. Okay? Yeah, even less effort. So to save time, would you test this spot? And would you go to the other leg?
Yeah.
You see what I mean? Okay, now, we're not done yet. We found a sweet spot. Now, in some of these vibrators, like that type, the Meta Rub, that type right there, that has just high and low to it. So it would be comparatively a lot easier than this one. But if you think you're ready, you can come to this one and start doing what we're doing. Now, do it three ways. We did it at the start. Okay, we found the sweet spot. Now I'm going to open it up all the way. Okay, give it a moment. Okay, now, would you please test me now? I can't even, I'm thinking my full name, I can't even hold up my hand now. It's so bad. The energy is completely incoherent, completely scattered through my body. If I stay on this too long, it'll agitate me. Now, I want you to do one thing. You have an idea of what's happening, so I'm going to ask you to hold hands. Hold hands for a moment, and let's see if you can sense this better by holding and making everyone hear one large antenna. Okay. Right? Good. So the antenna is complete. Everyone's holding hands. Good. Okay? All right. I'm just going to turn it on just like we did. Well, first, can you sense my energy without me doing anything? Is it easier to sense my energy now than it was by yourself? And when I say that, it's best to close your eyes and just see if you can see me in front of you with your eyes closed. Can you sense how my energy looks now? Okay. Does it look easier now than it did by itself? Okay, some people are saying yes, some people are saying no. Okay. All right, well, let me turn it on and see what happens now when I turn it on. Okay, I just turned it on, lowest speed. What do you sense now? Any change? What are you getting now? Any change now? Better, worse, the same?
A little
That's okay. That's all right. It's okay. For those of you who are sensing it, any change? Okay. All right. Now let me go to the sweet spot.
What was the answer on that, Gary?
It should be a little less.
Oh,
A little less than before I turned it on.
a little worse.
A little, yes, a little weaker.
Okay, a little
A
weird.
little weaker. Okay. Now let's increase it. There. Okay. Now. All right. What's happening now? And I am puttering along now. It is smooth. It's like butter. Okay. What do you sense it now? More or less the same. Okay. So, what are you getting now? Better? More, right? More even.
More even.
More even. Pretty profound, isn't it? Okay. Now, let me make it really incoherent, really uncomfortable. What are you getting now? Yeah. It's like I literally want to start screaming. It's so bad. Seriously, it is really bad. Now, for those of you who could sense it, and I'm hoping by the end of the 4 weeks, everyone will, but it doesn't matter. I just want to get you into the habit of muscle testing, just to get your confidence up at the very least. But for those of you who could sense it, what changed in your body as I went to the best place? What changed? Is that,
A knot right here.
you could actually feel. Okay, very good, very good. Okay, and That's very important because that indicates that there's a blockage going on in this area, and you can sense it. Very good. Very good. Okay. What else?
I couldn't pick up the energy early on, but when you put it at a high frequency, I knew it was just coming to.
Okay.
That's usually where I get my comfortable with it.
Very good. That's indicating that we have to do some work on the confidence. Right. Okay. Very good.
Did I hear Larry correctly when you sensed that the energy, he hit the sweet spot?
No, when it went out of balance, that's when I
Oh,
really
you
got,
felt that?
really got it right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so that makes sense.
So he felt it in a weak area
In a weak area.
for
Okay.
him.
Okay.
Right. Now, if the body is uniformly strong, you'll feel it through the entire body system that way. Yeah? If it's uniformly strong, and you'll sense it through the entire body. But if there are isolated areas that are feeling uncomfortable, that's indicating that it's very weak in those areas. They need help. They need help either biochemically, mentally, emotionally, or spiritually. Yeah?
Okay.
It's concerned about what will happen if I start feeling this, sensing this. What does this mean? We don't have enough of a basis to allow you to give you an understanding of how this could help you for the future. We know what happened in the past. We know that brain took over in the past, and that got you to a certain point, so that was comfortable. Now it's saying, I'm not going to allow anything else through until I have an idea of what this could do for me for the future. Then I might start trusting and let it through. Yes.
I wasn't able to read you, but there was a dramatic shift in the energy we were passing from hand to hand.
Right.
I mean, it was just perfectly stable, and then when you would get it
Right.
at certain speeds, I could just feel
That's right.
the energy passing between that shift, and I suppose others felt that as well.
I would imagine that most of you did, right?
Yes.
Most of you did. And you understand, it's the antenna principle at work. So this became one large antenna to amplify the sensitivity. Okay, so this is like someone becoming 100, 200 feet tall.
So, you know, if you're kind of in chaos and you join the antenna, you're not adding chaos to it that somebody else has got to balance out?
There's enough energy flowing through the room to overcompensate for the chaos that you're feeling and sensing.
Yeah, but I noticed when I grasped hands initially, it wasn't as strong
Right.
as by myself.
That's right. And that's possible.
And it took until you were in sync that then it did flow like she was saying, through all of us,
That's right.
for me.
And you're exactly correct. So what you're saying, think about this, is that if you're in a situation and everyone is losing their cool, everyone's upset, someone in the room has to stay calm. And if someone is staying calm and everyone else is losing it, the one who's most certain wins. I had no doubt in my mind you'd be able to feel this. And that sweet spot was so strong in my body it overwhelmed any doubts that you had. So, think about this. If you want to send your energy out to a situation, what does this mean? You want to improve the quality of the situation. What do?
Indecisive.
Very good. What else?
Put yourself in check first.
Very good. You want to be optimistic, confident. Right. Right. Now, we can't force others. We do not have any control over others. We can't force them. But if we can send out our courage, our confidence, our certainty that we know X, Y, or Z could happen, and we send it out that way to whomever, whatever is going on, the one who's most certain has the best chance of helping everyone else move forward. Whether it's more doubt or more certainty, the one that has the most confidence in either one of those two is going to encourage the rest to follow.
I've got to tell a story because it's
Please,
very
Mr.
much
Jesse.
along the lines. Today, there's two of us in our office, and we were sitting there talking, and a box came in that I was expecting, and this engineer's working on another system. And I told him, you know, I've got the box, it has the parts, and I have a packing list, and there's 2 serial numbers here. And one of those 2 serial numbers is in this box and needs to go into the system you're working on. And we talked about it a little bit, and I went back to my office, and he comes walking down the hall going, Larry, you're so optimistic, you're so, you know, you're the one that's keeping us driving here, and I was just kind of, okay, you know, but back to what you just brought up today, is that he's the type that is very defensive and very, you know, skeptical. That's what it was.
Very afraid.
Yeah, very afraid.
Very afraid.
And I said, it's in the box, no problem, just look for it, put it in there, everything worked fine. And he walked away from the day and had a very successful day.
There you go. Now, it's almost 9 o'clock. I would really like for you tonight to be able to run these tests for yourself and your partner. Susan, would you mind, could you stay till 9:30?
Yes, absolutely.
Could you stay till 9:30? I really want you to get through this. So is it clear what I'm asking you to do? We have to find your partner. Okay, so I think the cards have been passed out. Right? So in a moment we'll find it. But is it clear what I want you to do? You may have to work in groups depending on the number of vibrators we have. If you have any questions about what to do with the vibrators, that's what I'm asking. Is it clear what I'm asking you to do tonight? So,
We're just trying to find the sweet spot for each of it.
yes, yes you are. And if you're not sure that you found it, muscle test. Okay? All right? Okay.
So on the vibrator that only has 2 speeds, I mean, it could be equal to the high and low speed of that one. Are you saying one of those 2 speeds is going to fit the person?
Most likely, one would be better than another. Most likely.
Or we're just looking for better?
We're looking for better. This will find the actual placement, this one. By next week, I'm hoping we'll have more of these so we can do this. This vibrator, and this vibrator, and this vibrator, both of these will do the same things. They both have the same latitude. You can adjust both of them over a wide range. Okay? But then, the ones that are more flat, they only have high and low. I would suggest you get started with high and low. You get good with it, you can test these. Okay? If you're not sure about what to do, ask. Okay? Clear? So, all right, so.
We don't all have cards.
We don't have